Hello and welcome to another coaching video. In this one we have an adventurous set with a Diamond Nidalee versus a Diamond Shyvana. The Shyvana has been Diamond since Season 7, my friends, has not reached Master Tier, has only finished Diamond. Let's see if we can figure out what might be the cause. Likewise, we have a farming jungler versus an aggressive jungler who likes to invade and do those sorts of things. And of course, with next patch coming more buffs to farming junglers and the removal of counter jungling restrictions, and again, bigger lane experience, leeching nerfs to ganking and soaking junglers. Oh boy, Shyvana should be something on your radars, I suppose. And we have a Silas who's decided jungle is too nerfed, so I'm going to take him to the lane. We got a Jinx Pike versus a Caitlyn. So rocking obviously the set who went on an adventure and died against the Gangplank. Now, here's the thing. We're against a Nidalee, so technically we could probably use a deep ward here, although we're slapping the ward onto this raptor pit here, as you can see right there. And don't forget, my jungle improvement PDF is still free and will always be free on my website, Virkayu.gg. You can just download that by entering your email, of course. And we have the silver course out and the gold course out. In a few hours, it's coming. Full curriculum is listed. You see everything that you will need to know. The diamond course will follow, the platinum course will follow, along with the bronze course next Friday. So get all of your jungle courses from Virkayu.gg, everything you need to know to climb through your ELO and your MMR, as well as our one-on-one coaching and now coaching VOD library. Click the link below, the best way to climb in the jungle. Okay, so now we have the control of the timer, right? We're going from the blue side to the red side. We know 222, that's when we're crossing. We know if Nidalee gets leashed here, then she's going to be crossing here as well. That's why you've got to track your leashes, the top leash, the bottom lane leash. Did they fake leash? Did they show up with no mana usage? Did they show up with mana usage? And that's why I'm on a fake leash as Zyra, and I'm on the bottom lane, and my jungler asks me to fake leash, I'll just chuck a Q out. So by the time I get to the lane, I'll be like, definitely leashed on the bottom side, definitely like this mana missing, they're late to show, and in the meantime they start a top side, and now I get the free gank off. So those level of mind games are always possible, which is why the best thing we have are wards. Now, if Nidalee gets leashed here and crosses, we're expecting around a 222 cross time. If of course she gets leashed or goes leashless, this could obviously be different for the red side. Now, the Nidalee knows straight up that 99% is a ward there because of the set's death. We see this pull here. Oh, she shows so briefly. It's so sad. If you know it's warded or you suspect it's warded, make sure you pull the camp out and don't step out of the bush. Just don't step out of the bush. I know the leash range indicator shift has made that quite difficult, but there is a way for you to kind of do it right against the wall. However, Shyvana should see this. We know directly that the Nidalee is going to be doing a red side quadrant at this point because we press tab, we'll see 8. No ways Nidalee does 2 camps here into raptors. It's unfathomable. So if you had no idea, you thought she started blue and you see this, you press tab, you see 8. Like, okay, I know you're doing your raptors from the red Krugs now. Which means she has the ability to full sequence, she has the ability to cut in and gank this, she has the ability to shadow and dive this, which of course is something she should look for at this particular stage. She can also cut through here and do that, but she knows that Shyvana started top side and is going down. And that's why I said the reverse clear is so good. We're conditioned not to think about doing reverse clears now. And all while you do this, you're looking at the bottom lane, you're looking at the mid lane. There's no aggressive jungling here. The goal is not to sequence and then invade or do anything like that. It's just control our camps as best we can. And the best thing to do in these situations when you know where they are at a particular moment is to flex your decision making. All right, I see this. I project 8 CS. She's doing a raptor. She's going to come down to the bottom side. Could she invade me here? Do I expect it? Yes. You have to expect it. So why don't I just skip my raptors? And this is something the Korean junglers would do even 2-3 years ago, when Nidalee was really meta. They would see this and maybe think, she's coming down here, so let me do the red first, then the raptors, then I can look to go mid lane or something like this, because look, they're low, right? I don't have to full sequence blindly. At the same time, it also allows you to go to the red, down to the Krugs. If Nidalee shows up for the invade, and again, this is actually very similar to a scenario in the gold course I just covered today, you can always just leech out and protect yourself here. If she doesn't show up, you can go the long way around here and do your raptors, cut in, or just swap for the opposite scuttle. So yeah, you're going Gromp Wolves and then Krugs Raptors, but that's okay if you survive. You can always fix and change your sequencing as necessary. But ideally, we're usually dragging this into the bush so we can see if they arrive. But if they arrive, can we fight or do we have time to get out? It's always the question. Nidalee's quite a tough cookie. So what we do is we drag the red camp, up so that the Nidalee would be forced to really hook the corner to C and spear. Spear hits as well. We press W like, run. Nidalee does the flash. We flash in return. I do like the Shyvanas with these sort of exhaust gamings. I don't know why we walked back in here. You know what I'm saying? The Nidalee literally just does this, cuts in, sits in the bush here, waits, like Rengar plays, Kindred plays, Nidalee, we're all doing this. It's so obvious. So even if you don't do a full reverse sequence, at least tracking, okay, look, if she starts top side, bot side, what can I do to avoid her at all costs? You just don't want to die here. And I don't know, that's just my paranoia. That's how I think about the game. Even if they don't do it, I benefit, right? Because I'm probably thinking the opposite direction. Even if they don't invade me and they full clear down and gank bottom lane, I'm still here, I'm away from them, my camps are under my control. Hey, now I can 420 counter jungle this, I can 440 counter jungle this, especially if they waste more time down here. Whatever gives me the advantage. But if she shows up here and no one rotates to help, just leave, go back to base, give her this, go out of base, try and take this. You know the Nidalee's most likely going to try and deal with these situations over here. Unlikely she straight up crosses mid lane to try and take this scuttle from you. I have seen it happen, we've all seen it happen, but you know what I mean? Most likely she doesn't. She shows with 16 CS there, which means we know straight up she didn't do our Krugs, so those are available for us. How nice. We want to gank mid lane, but no CC. Why are we moving in this direction? This is wasting a lot of time. Now we go, Yasuo kills the side as we wait for the set. Very good patience there actually in the end, and we should be able to snag a kill. Good. So I don't know what the waffle was for the Raptors because we kind of know that's down. Maybe she's just getting vision off the timer. Perfect as well. Wait for the set, wait for the bait, go and chop the wave. We'll take this. Nidalee shows up over here, 16 CS as well. So I still know our whole blue side is up. A lot goes into avoidance and surviving. That's the most important thing. Nidalee also knows exactly where you're going now. Because she sees you at 24 CS, she know you didn't take the Krugs, so you're going to go back to your Grump and your Wolves. Maybe she could delay invade your second rotation here without even basing. Because all you have is a recurve bow. Yes, it's strong, but could she beat you? Pilot issue. How good are you in the champion? Oh, Nidalee shows up here on the bottom side. And now we have 21 CS because we held the mid lane, so we didn't even have to take any other of our other camps. This type of jungling will be punished going forward. The experience leech from lanes will go down, which is what we want. But we see that as Shyvana, and instead of immediately hotfixing to go to this, assuming she's going to fall back to this side, we finish our wolf camp. Let's see if that costs us a little bit. Because there's a possibility, obviously, that the Nidalee just goes to base, buys, basically says, Shyvana's probably counter jungling me, let me base, buy, and come and collapse and cut her off. Those are the two decisions that the Nidalee has to make and can make. We don't know exactly which one she's going to do. Counter jungling like this is going to be so much more free in the next coming patches for the rest of all time, actually, because it's like a 2 to 3 minute. Can we chuck an E? Can we hit the E? Yes, we can. Nicely done. Very good. Good little eyes, a little slow and delayed, but nicely done. We have the Nidalee chucking the spear here, now auto-attacking using the range. A barrel is put down on the ground. Be careful here. Don't eat a spear unnecessarily, because she's going to go in. But she... Don't let her hit a spear and make her go in unnecessarily and then you die, but at the same time, if she's going to go in, mess it up, and die herself, then it's fine. I still would prefer not to get free hit by a spear, but... You know what? Mechanics. In the end, they can make a decision seem great, amazing, or just downright stupid. So at the end of the day, sometimes it's about confidence in your abilities, right? I hate the spear, I know the mechanics, I know I can do this, versus, hey, if I get hit by the spear and she goes in, we can turn it. I'm not sure in these sessions, in these coaching videos, that that's always happening, like that level of mind games, but I like to think it is sometimes, you know what I mean? But again, good counter jungling. Nidalee shows up on the top side here. Soak boots, which means we know, obviously, she died, went back to base, involuntarily took her soak boots, sprinted up to this side. She hasn't taken any extra camps, and we see this so we can react and say, cool. We kind of knew she was going to do that, though, because once she goes mid lane here with an extra 8 CS, we know she did a blue Grump because she has the buff. So we know that she dies here. She's going top side. So we sequence down. There's an RNG scuttle here. We use this to take the dragon, which is, of course, as Shyvana you want to do. But as you see, look, we get low. You get low, you have to track the bottom lane, you have to track the mid lane. And I don't think Nidalee would randomly show up here, but it is a possibility. And if that happens, you're just like, well, okay then. I don't know why you would do that, but you're doing it. So the Nidalee, in the meantime, will know that, okay, look, she took the bottom dragon here. Pike's rotating from this side. Nidalee shows up here with an extra 4 CS, 32 to 36. So I know she took the top scuttle. He doesn't have blue. I'm watching the Pike. I'm watching the Nidalee. I'm watching the Yasuo. Uh-oh. You need a control ward? Very good, we have one. We need to place it on the blue buff immediately. There we go, well done. You can also place it here if you're feeling a bit more like you're safe, but you're worried about the flank from the top side. This, though, allows you to kind of do the wolves and the grump and wait. This gives you the vision. She's going to start it up right away. I would probably do the wolves or the grump and drag it out and wait. Because I know that the Pike went up. I know that the Nidalee was in the area. I'm kind of a little bit worried about it, but at the same time, Could easily go here, could easily go here, so that's okay. What? Come on. We know straight up that this was taken. What are we doing? Okay, then. Don't give away your location if you're trying to avoid people. Like saying, I'm gonna avoid you. Here I am. Don't do that. So, you mean like, where is the Nidalee? Did she go back to her red side? Is she hovering? At this point, once you secure this, you know, okay, she's probably on the red side. Maybe she's trying to take this. But at the same time, it just dinged 8 minutes as we cross. So, Romp Wolves, hold mid lane. You can kill them. Obviously, you can cut through and kill them before you do your camps, which is what she's trying to do. But, like, she revealed herself. There we go. Okay. All right. Okay, good. I'm glad we got to win. I mean, goodness gracious. So if you're a diamond player and you're not master tier, this death plus this death are just no-goes. You can't have them. You also can't reveal yourself, because even if the set doesn't see it and you think, ah, he doesn't see it, I can kill you now. Someone on the team probably did in the D1 master tier game. Like, someone definitely saw it, will collapse and punish you for it. Now Nidalee shows up and she goes straight to this because she knows you can do nothing about it at this particular stage. Yes, she hasn't reset and you have, and now you have a bit more cash monies, but you don't have ultimate, you don't have the top laner, excuse me, mid laner, I should swap this. We do have our Gangplank here, but we don't have the Yasuo in the picture, and they will have a 4v2 should we want to fight it. Interestingly, they actually are forced to give it up just a little bit because of HP resources. Shyvana is able to snack it and flash forward. The Gangplank, showing how broken he is able to get away with it. The ult happens. You know, sometimes you guys are like, hey, that looks like a gold game. I'm like, yeah, sometimes it does. The Nidalee and the Pyke are forcing this. I'm still worried about the Silas just cutting on down here. The Gangplank and Shyvana are able to actually grab a kill back plus get the Herald, which is great. But, ooh, I don't know, man. Like, I know I have itemization advantage here. I know I'm strong, but I'm still a bit like, hey, Pyke hooks me. If Nidalee hits a spear, if the enemy set is there quicker, if Silas is paying attention, there's too many what ifs for me, personally. So I would more so like to leverage the fact that I can just take my camps and continually sequence down, maybe gank bot lane, and do a sort of invade here and punish the fact that the Pyke's roaming. Then I wouldn't necessarily straight up coin flip. However, we were able to get away with it again because we had itemization spikes and yada yada, all that good stuff. But was it the best risk assessment? Probably not. Probably not, right? But this was just funny. Because this was ambition outweighing talent again. Yeah, I can kill the set. No problem, I got this. Never mind, I can't kill the set, I died. When we could, and we revealed ourselves too, so it's better just to do blue Grump Wolves, hold this wave, then loop back and do this if you want. You know? Yeah. Definitely important, I think. Pyke is now roaming down to the bottom side. We know Nidalee will definitely be roaming down to the bottom side. We have ultimate, which means we want to use it, but because the sequencing is compromised, because of our randomness a little bit, we are waiting in the bush, but unfortunately for the red team, they telegraphed their every move. Can we make a play? But again, this is a lot of time. Oh, look. Something is suspicious. As the red team, Shyvana contested and went down from the mid lane. She must be in the area. And, like, you know, you can't telegraph your moves to this degree at the Elo. You want Masters, you cannot be telegraphing things away. I know there's a big gap, but a lot of it is mechanical know-how. Like, hey, I know I can go do this and just kill everybody. You know, I know I can outplay the situation, but most people don't know that, and you just go by things of item spikes, experience spikes. Yeah, I think we can see why. There's a little bit of a coin flip nature to the player. You know, she coin flips the Krug fight, coin flip this outcome here. You know what I mean? Like, coin flip this. It's too much. There's not enough control. And then Nidalee is not exactly playing super, super well. She's like investing in the ganking, but Nidalee obviously next patch can just invest into the farming. Like, it works out for the champion. Now we're forced to go to the top side here. Again, a lot of wasted time. We're losing a little bit of prior on setting this dragon up. So we might have to just say, hey, you guys take that dragon. Because I'm watching my Caitlyn Soraka here. They're not up by as much as I would like, but the Jinx is doing a very good job not dying. Pyke's perma roaming here. Low HP targets. We do have ultimata available. We could try something. We could try, but again, like, we don't have the setup. Okay, we baited out the Q, we bait out the E, we bait out the R. He's got the he just gets exploded before he can W. The Pyke is shattering. Nicely done again. So I gave her doubts here, but she waited for the bait, and the set showed the tendency of, hey, guess what? Wait, what are we doing? But we just needed to shove with Herald. Oh well. I guess we chased down the pike a little bit. Nidalee collapsed and killed us. It is what it is. Now Nidalee can say thank you, gank you. Or just gank you, thank you. Or just, apparently she wants to go back to the mid lane and do that. I think Jinx is owed a gank and some pressure from the pike and the Nidalee, right? But hey, it's okay. 7 to 8, 22 to 20k gold, 2-2-2 jungle, 3-3-3 jungle. I don't know, it's like no one really has total control over here. We have the Yasuo getting chased down by the Sylas. This is an interesting one. This is definitely like, it's not obvious on the face of it, but there's definitely some coin flip decision making. Like, it's very easy for me to go, hey, they're probably thinking about this stuff because they should, and then they're just not. And it's very clear that they're not when you see certain things. She also just telegraphed the location, telegraphed that she's doing the blue, so I would hit the plant down to see if the scuttle crab's taken, being taken, or if I'm about to be invaded again. I doubt it, but you want to always make sure. So the disrespect here from this, RNG scuttle here, we're watching this go up here, hit this to see what's going on. I want the vision, man. Like, I want to see, right? Hit across or down when you have a ward here, but I don't, it's obvious. From the Nidalee's perspective, it's very obvious because she activated the Herald. She told them where she was, and she doesn't have ultimate. So she... You gotta stop telegraphing your moves. Diamond junglers who are must, just stop telegraphing your moves, because even if the enemy jungler is a bit of a potato sack in this particular game, or if they are a master tier jungler, or if they have been master tier before, they will punish you for it. And I don't care about this. Like, this doesn't matter to me, right? Oh, look, my team cleaned up. Yeah, but you died, and you don't know that they were going to do that, especially their Stua, who wasn't exactly, like, power housing it down, you know what I mean? Like, this might feel like, okay, good. Whew. Safe to play a little bit, but at the same time, died. You didn't do anything at all. So don't telegraph your moves. Don't overchase. Don't walk blatantly through vision. Don't fight over things you just need to give up and swap. Practice avoidance. You're gonna have a much better time selecting the best place to use your ult, selecting the best places to use your ganks, and apparently good champion design. Yeah, and Shyvana is one of those in the next patch you guys gotta watch for. Even the AP variant here, the Nash's Tooth, very strong still. They did nerf that E percentage max HP 3.5 to 3.0 a while back. That did influence us a little bit, but with the amount of gold going back into the game, with the reduction of camp experience from the leeching, there's a lot of possibilities for her to pop off in games where junglers don't punish. Now, obviously, Nidalee will punish in this elo, but in your elo, they might not. And so you'll be able to get away with things that this Shyvana isn't, just because of the nature of the MMR range. And now we're just straight up saying, hey guys, let's fight over a dragon. We do this now. Obviously, we get bonus stats here. The Jinx throws out an ult. She's only 0-1-0, which is amazing from the Nidalee's perspective, because her and Pyke were just roaming the rivers, mid lane, trying to shut down the Shyvana. Yeah. Caitlyn moves to the mid lane here. Maximize the plate golds for herself. Yasuo did as much as possible. We'll do Raptor's Red Krugs. This lane can be held by us if no one wants to, and of course in gold platinum, most people won't hold it, so you enjoy that experience yourself. Now we're gonna loop back here, a little spaghetti, but that's okay, because we're reacting to the information on the map. We see Yasuo getting E'd by the Set. This rocket shows up for a silence. We get the knock-up. The Set decides to disengage us. We're low. We're going to ult in here and make sure we turn on the Set and kill him. Avoid the W True Grit, True Damage passive. The Set dies. The Pyke's ult misses. And Nidalee says, see ya, at sign. So, good rotation there. That's always what we want. We like good rotations, don't we? Doing this. Okay, I see something. Let me go. High probability of rotation. Yes, okay, I go. Sadly, we lost our... dragon form there, but that damage is starting to build up a little bit. See, now we're over chasing. And Nidalee would have had to go back to base if she didn't die, but she did die. So Nidalee is dead, Pyke is low, Set was dead, and instead of just doing the Herald and getting 11 from it, and then falling back to this side and resetting, spending our, at the time, what will be like 2,500 gold, we decide to tower dive, burn a flash, wait for everyone to respawn, and now coin flip this objective. Kill conversion ratio is important in every single MMR. People don't use it in every single MMR. Kill them, take an objective. Fall back to your quadrant if there's nothing else to do. Otherwise, look to push a wave or two. Then fall back to your quadrant. When they're dead, you gotta maximize. In this elo, if they're dead and you don't max, like, look at this. Here we go. We get ult. Like, I don't care that we get the kills. I don't care that you're still able to turn it. I care that it's not the right decision initially. You don't know these things. Don't results-based it. Don't be like, look, at least she's fed. I don't think she's fully aware of what she can do. I don't think she's thinking like, yeah, I can 2v1, no stress. You know, like the Nidalee's not exactly doing anything either. But kill, shove, collapse, push. If you can kill people afterwards, then we get a nice herald push into this. So Yasuo's pushing here. You can bust the game open by 18 minutes. Don't inhib, but you can definitely get turrets. And now you can full back control this whole zone, push this one up as well. You've got all of these camps to fall back to afterwards. You have the next dragon, which will be the third one. The next set of plays, if we just play this properly, is huge. Now, of course, because we go dying, our team takes it and uses it. Now we're trusting our bottom lane to basically take over the game because we're dead. We go take our camps, they wipe them. If it's 20 minutes, that's a Baron. Coin flipping the outcome always. And that is what leads you to be stuck, my friends. Because we don't have control and we are at the whims of the people on our team. But we are AP Shyvana, so we can just ult in there and get some juicy Fire Dragon's Breath and just auto-attack some people down. And we're going to get true gritted because we're super squishy. Yasuo saves our souls. Get that tattooed right on your ass cheek there, Shyvana. I thank Mr. Yasuo for that one time he saved me. If you ever get Master Tier and you win this game, you're going to DM that Yasuo. Thank you for that one time. Because once again, I overcommitted. We are in the process of building that Night Harvestor. Demonic's Embrace obviously is not as good as it used to be considering the nerfs, and the Nash's Tooth is just too juicy. Attack speed is good, AP is good. 100 AP! Who remembers the 80%, the 80 AP we had on the Nash's Tooth? Something like that, right? 80 AP? But we had a huge amount of cooldown reduction. Back then you had cooldown reduction capped at 40%, and you would get 20% from Nash's Tooth. Like half of your cooldown just from one item. It's beautiful. Beautiful item. Always loved it, and I love this one too. Different set, obviously, but no one's complaining about 150 stats, right? 100/50. Okay. Out of base now, we have Night Harvester completed. We got our Dark Seal. We got our Soul Machines. She does flex Drain Tank, Iceborne Gauntlet, Blade of the Rune King builds as well. You can basically go AD or AP in that sense. AP is definitely more finesse. Like, you've got to be smart, you know? You're not looking to necessarily jump in and absorb. You're looking to do what she's doing. Third dragon spawning. Looks like it's just going to be a straight up team fight for it. We get hooked, force the pike. So we could be just poking with our nuke bomb. We could be doing this and poking with our nuke bomb. I've seen Ogurin in these situations just get dragon and chuck out ease into the zone right here. You'll just chuck out ease. And your team can do it, you can do it. There's nothing they can do. If they walk on it, they get exploded and ignited. So she's maybe savoring this ult a little too much here. Silas has taken the Shyvana ult. See, Silas is the Shyvana. Shyvana's not Shyvana. The GP is ulting. See, now we ult into nothing. We could have done that beforehand and made it an easier scenario. So maybe hesitating too much and using our AP form properly. There we go, there we go, there we go. It's a huge zone. You see that, right? We're just poking each other back and forth, us and Silas. They got a lot of mobility, though. That's a nice thing for their team, bad for us for our team. Unfortunately, again, GP is the brains here, and he says yes. Caitlyn says, I'm out, I'm low. Yasuo and Shyvana say, we chase, and then they die for it. Point, flipping everything, not paying attention to our team. And the Gangplank here gets ulted. Set. Set. Glad that at 4 and 9 he has such potency. And Jinx finally gets something back. So now if I'm the Shyvana, honestly, I'm like, well, I'm 667. I did a bonus 505 damage and then one fight. I mean, it should be more. Night Harvest is a good item. The memes were always wrong about this item. HP, haste, AP, movement speed, passive proc. A lot of cool stuff in that item. And I think we should have had more. So again, just residual fighting. Obviously, Jinx shows up here. Wind Wall is used. Soraka says, hello, did anyone call for an ambulance? And, well, red team did. Jinx is out of position. I understand the Jinx being tilted. I really do. Shyvana shows up here. I really do. But in this elo, guys, and this is a great lesson for Platinum players as well, if you can make a pick from someone overstaying like this and their jungler is dead, go to the Baron. If you have the numbers, go to the Baron. Can you 2 or 3 man the Baron? Do the Baron. 22, 21 minutes. Can you do the Baron from the picks you just had? Do it. because it allows you to really punch open a game that might seem a bit coin flippy in terms of the fights. And it really does. So we quickly do that. We've got the needlessly large rod. Caitlin's just like, I take this experience. We're obviously going into the death cap. Could think about the Shadow Flame for some penetracion, but I think just going straight up decap is fine. Considering the way she's playing, she's gonna die in the fight. She might as well unload as much damage as possible on the Jinx and the Nidalee as well as the Pike. We are now finally doing what we should do, which is sequence in, join our team, and hold the mid-wave. Here we go, we become Dragon, we chuck an E out, that's nice. I mean, it's nice-ish. Walk on, just smack a Q, there you go. Not very difficult to play. Push, 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 push. We have here a dead set. We have everyone full HP, we've got a cannon wave, we can kind of pseudo frontline this. We chuck an E, which is half of Jinx's HP. We have the Silas flanking here from the top side, with the Pike and the Nidalee flanking from the bottom side. We immediately turn to focus on the Pike, which is great. The Jinx steps up, the Silas decides to become the Shyvana, and he will die for that as well. Bad team fighting from the red team. You have one guy down, your big disengage tool. You put one here, two here, one here, like it's always going to end badly. So nice job by the blue team to recognize that, and obviously that's expected. You expect that at this point from players in this elo. However, what you might expect here, if you're watching this and you're platinum and below, you're thinking, they end the game here now. No. What we need to do is look at the death timers. And Nidalee's up, Jinx is up, Pike is up in 3. We don't have enough juice. We have a lot of ultimate gold. Let's, at the most, take mid-inhib and leave. Take mid-inhib and leave. Because Nidalee now is already flanking behind us. We're low HP resources. I know you want to take a second inhib. Could we take a second inhib? Yes. But the wave wasn't crashed enough for us. And I hate overcommitting in these situations. I definitely think we probably could have taken that second inhib if someone was ready to tank the turret, but as you can see, I don't like risking this. I want to take that mid inhib guaranteed, push up here, someone tanks this, usually it's me, because I'm the volley brother Orn, usually I'm the one, I'll just tank this turret. Or Zyra, put some plants, hit the turret, hit the turret, hit the turret, quickly take this bottom inhib and disengage as a team, like just everyone leave. What you don't want to do, hang around, stand still, wait, and die. They coming out of base with all of their gold spent. You have in your pocket, you know, like at that point, let's have a look. Here we go. Shyvana's dead, 2k in pocket, 1k in the Asu, that's 3k, 1k basically in GP almost, 2k almost on the Caitlyn, and I'm running up here. But like, that means the gold lead is nowhere near 10k. It's half of that. And if we stay out here and we give shutdowns and more kills, let's look at it. It's 45 and 55 basically, 46. Everyone dies, and now they're going to have supers from both middle and bottom wave, pushing up, 2k gold swing, dragons available very shortly. Why? So, yeah, that still happens in Diamond, my friends. It really still happens in Diamond. Okay then, out of base we respawn, we don't have the death cap yet. We should probably go Krugs Raptors because we want to shadow into the mid lane. Now, okay, You can either go Krugs, Raptors, and Shadow into the mid lane to push up for vision line control so that we can control this dragon, which is what we want. Someone else should handle this one. Or you could do the Raptors Krugs and be the one that does the bottom one. Or someone snacking your Krugs and you have nothing else to do but take your Raptors. Now, if there's a long time delay and there's no dragon spawning, this is the wrong play. You want to come out of base. Wolves, Gromp, Blue, Scuttle, everyone moves here. Because we're going to have this push, and this is not an objective on the map, at least from, say, let's say 2-3 minutes. Shove around the wall, take the turn in him, and then you can probably end it. Or you can, in the worst case, fall back to the next dragon, which is Sol. But because it's Sol, we're kind of positioning ourselves in a place to fight it. But I will say, if you've got a lot of time, taking Raptors and loitering around this, I hate that. If I know I have enough time to quickly do Gromp, Blue, Wolves, and then cut in, I'll do it. I'll leave the Raptors for my team. But I'll take this quadrant, Gromp, Blue, Wolves, not perfect sequencing, just to get the camps in order so I can actually end up at the dragon on time. In this case, I don't think we had necessarily just enough time to do all of that, but you most likely had enough time to do the Blue and the Gromp, and then you can cut through mid lane here and then join. So maximize that time by farming camps and pushing up vision lines. That's what we want to do. One more fight. One good fight. The Shyvana Silas goes in. It's always very funny to watch. The GP ult is used. The Nidalee is chucking side spears. The Jinx is sitting at the front, so you want to be patient here. We hit that Q, and we go all in on the Pike, which is obviously a good idea, but then Seth disengages and separates the Yasuo from his team. So our Shyvana pushes them out on the bottom side so we can then go back up and focus on the top side. But it's Shyvana versus Shyvana. Got to be careful. We're watching this. We're waiting for this. Very, very nice. Stop the bases. There's Silas. Stop the Silas. Nidalee's chasing down a Soraka. We get the silence. We should have an E up shortly, plus a smite. There we go. Use your smite. There we go. We got the Q. There we go. She pressed the Q. We're just waiting for the Q to hit. This is what you're trying to do. Wait for your waves to push. And if someone steps out, you kill them. Silas kills the GP. We should be able to get the dragon as well. Boom, boom. No smite, unfortunately. We're just smack him in the face. Twin bites, baby. Oh, there's Cassiopeia for some reason. Similar, no? What is it for Cassiopeia? I can't remember. Yeah, but this is perfect. Unfortunately, our team died a lot, but we're able to get the soul, and now we steal the whole jungle. We can push up the top side. Here we go. There we go. That's nice. We do have death cap, so we kind of wanted to go back to base to spend for the death cap, but if we feel like we're strong enough where we don't need to, that's fine as well. Now I would play around my team. I know a lot of people say, hey, let me go get the death cap, and I agree with you. But if the map is king, and the map is always king, and your team are here and you don't really need that itemization spike, and they're all out of position, you turn, you kill, nicely done. Next target, there we go. Next target, there we go. Well done. So the mid to the late game, much better from the Shyvana player. Early game, not so good. But you're seeing there's still a lot of issues in the gameplay that would result in coin flip end games, coin flip scenarios. And you can see why. She probably wouldn't win automatically. But an interesting game nonetheless. Some cool things happening, even things that surprised me. I mean, like, things don't always go as you expected, but it's how you interpret that information and what does that mean for the game. If I expected option A and they went with B, that means A is available. If I expected option A and they went with A as expected, then B is still available. So you've got to always mesh those things together. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Virkayu for all your coaching needs. Zara for your live companion champion needs. And as always, I will see you all in the next coaching.